Today is Tuesday, August 21st, and here's our Buoy 10 update. Today was a pretty decent bite. We ended up getting our fish pretty quick. We were fortunate. There were a fair amount of fish caught, but it wasn't a red hot bite by any means. It was definitely crowded. I've been saying this for the last 3-4 years I've been doing these updates. These fish move, and they move fast. So where we were getting them today was above tongue point. I'll say that right now, but the tides tomorrow are such that those fish are going to be gone. So today there was an okay bite there. There was an okay bite down near Ilwaco. There was a decent bite over at Shipwreck, on and on and on. So again, this time of year, there's fish everywhere. Fish wherever you're comfortable, wherever you like, there's fish everywhere. But those fish that were upriver, up around Tongue Point, I'm going to say there's probably a 90% chance that those fish are going to be gone because the tides are growing. That is where the fish stage up before they shoot further upstream. So don't think that tomorrow there's going to be a bite there, because I personally will probably not be there. I might go up there, make one quick pass and see if those fish are still there. If they're not, I'm gone. The tides are such that those fish should be flushing up. So the good news is for you guys fishing upriver, up around Longview on up, there is a wad of fish coming at you that you should get into here this week. So that's great news. Awesome. So that is pretty much the long and the short of it. There wasn't any real rhyme or reason to today. It was just bait on the bottom. The flashers, Green Machine and Red October, both got bit equally. The one thing that I was doing today, I started doing a little bit yesterday. I was taking that tuna super sauce from Procure and putting it inside the gill plate on my anchovy. And what I've always said about scent is that I don't know. You can never say for certain if it actually helps or not, but what you can say is that it doesn't hurt. So I put that on half the rods, and that was the first 2 bites we had. I put it on all the rods. We started getting bit. So whether that made a difference or not, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, it obviously didn't hurt. So I'm going to be using it again tomorrow. Last year was garlic. Maybe this year it's the tuna super sauce. We'll see. So I think what I'm going to do here now, I've had quite a few questions about how the boat is set up and kind of what I'm running here, the little accoutrements, little gear and whatnot that I have on the boat. Heck, we're fishermen. We're all gear junkies. We all like gadgets and whatnot. So I'll give you a quick rundown on the boat and we'll wrap it up because there's really not much to talk about. There were fish around, we landed on them, we got lucky. I know a lot of guys that were around me that were not getting bit and are still not getting bit. So again, it wasn't a hot bite. It better be lucky and good. I'll take it. So starting off with the boat. Tell you what, let's walk on up to the front. Here we go, here we go. And there she is. This is a 27-foot whole length, 30-foot overall Pacific CC. It's an aluminum weld, and I went with this boat because it has a steeper entry and it can handle the big water a lot better than my old boat. And considering that I'm going to be going out there into the ocean, I wanted to have something that can handle the waves a lot better than my open sled. And again, it is a center console, and on the back I have twin 115 Pro XS Mercuries. And I went with the twins for a couple reasons. One, I'm going to be again out there in the ocean. I want redundancy. If one motor goes down, I still got another one to get back in. And I also got the Pro XS because it has a little bit more torque. So when I'm coming in across the bar and I'm trying to ride the back end of those waves, if the bar's a little bit rough, I have the torque to push this boat along and stay on the back side of one of those swells. From there, this is the new 15-horse Merc kicker right there, and that just came out here recently, and I immediately put my name on one because there is no carburetor. And as I'm sure a lot of you guys have figured out, carbureted motors with all that ethanol, not fun at all. So this new one, it's fuel injected, so don't have to deal with that issue anymore. Awesome. On my console, my office here if you will, I have a couple of Lowrance units. This one here, I'm usually keeping my map up, and then my sonar. This one down here, when I'm running the big motor, I have all my gauges on it so I can see how the motors are running. When I'm trolling, I put on structure scan, looking left and right, not necessarily to see structure because it's mostly sand, but to find fish. If we're out there fishing in, say, a 25-foot deep flat, and I look over to the left on my structure scan and go, oh, there's 20 fish over there. Turn into them, hopefully get them to bite. So I don't know, the rest of the stuff is just basic, autopilot, steering wheel. They're all controls and everything right here. Let's move on to the seats. These seats are smooth move air ride seats for the bases, and then the seats themselves are Bentley, and they are cushy. Can you see that? Really nice when you're out here getting bounced around in all of the wind and waves, and especially out there in the ocean. On each station, so where each angler is fishing, I have a couple of things. We're going to take the camera on down here. So I have these tackle webs, not just to put their phones into and whatnot, but this is also where we put our leads and our flashers. The flashers can also tuck into the rail, but they also got the little cup holder too, and I like them because they're soft-sided. They won't rust up, and they won't be a tripping hazard. People aren't tripping over them at all. They can just lean up against it and it'll squish right in. Then also at each station I have a pair of pliers and a towel, and that is not necessarily for the angler themselves, for the customer. That's actually for me, because when I'm running around netting fish, I like to have a pair of pliers at each station, so that way I don't need to run back to the back of the boat. Then a towel for everyone, that way they can clean up their hands. And then the rod holders, I just put in a new system here this fall, and it is the Fish Fighter rail system that goes around my entire boat. And I have the Fish Fighter extensions as well, so I can slide stuff around. The extenders also pop off, so if I don't want them, they're easy to remove. Also want them slide them up and down. And those are these guys right here. See if I can show them there. There you go. So that is the extension arm. And it has a brace down there on the bottom too. That way there is no slop. They're real solid. They don't move at all. Then on the back here on the back, I just had installed the net holders. I used to have the nets laying down on the bottom of the boat. I got sick and tired of that, and I talked to the guys over at Fish Fighter and said, hey, what do you guys think about coming out with a net holder? No problem. They came out with it real quick. It clicks into their rail system, into their sliding blocks, and here it is right here. See if I can show it. There it is. So it goes right into the sliding block right there, and it's nice and tall. That way it has a lot of support for holding these bigger salmon nets, and they grab a lot of wind, so they need to be real sturdy. That way they don't go flying out if you're hitting waves or a lot of wind coming through too. Up there in the bow, it's just basic storage, blah, 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 boring stuff. And then on the front end of my console, right there we go. Front end of the console has a unit as well. This is the HDS 12 carbon. And same thing that what I have on my side, on my office side. And the reason why I have one on the front, I actually learned this from my buddy Brandon. It's nice for the customers to see exactly what's going on. So when I say, hey, do you guys see that group of fish at 45 feet? They can look at it, see it. And what's even cooler is when you get a fish that's coming up, streaking up into the spread, you go, oh, watch that bow rod, here he comes, here he comes. The rod folds over. That's pretty cool. It's all about the experience out here. So that is pretty much the boat. There's a lot of other little details and whatnot. For example, my little wash down system. So anytime we get a boat or a fish into the boat, we immediately put them back here. This is where I bleed them, and then from there they go back into, so they go from the bleed box right there, which has a sprayer bar, rinses it out. From there we put them back here into the kill bag, which has all of the ice. So it just helps keep the boat a little bit cleaner too. So with that, that's pretty much my office for down here. Like I said, there's really not much to talk about as far as the fishing goes. Fishing was good, it wasn't great. The fish are going to be moving a lot, so don't expect the same pattern to exist tomorrow. Okay, if you guys got any questions, feel free to fire away, and we'll try and answer them tomorrow. Thanks guys, later. Time for me to go and clean the boat, retie all my rods, re-spool all the reels. The work begins. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.